Today we're going to be talking about the worst YouTuber in Valorant, WestJett.
Hey, that's us guys, yippee!
Now, as a small disclaimer before we start the video, I don't actually think WestJett is a bad YouTuber.
I disagree.
He puts a lot of effort into his vids, and I actually think he's a funny dude.
My name is WestJett.
At least he's self-aware, I guess.
My problem isn't really with the person, just more so with the message he sends in his content, but let's get into that.
Baba Booey.
What is up, Irans and Japans? WestJett615, Venezuelan trillionaire here, and today we're responding to Ethos. Oh, and literally 0% of you are subscribed, so be sure to subscribe. Yeah. The news is devastating. I've been staring at the solar eclipse for 20 minutes without any sunglasses or any form of protection and thinking where it all went wrong. Ethos clapped us, boys. Now, bear with me, gentlemen. This is a reaction to a reaction to a reaction, so it might get a little complicated.
If you don't know who WestJett is, he's basically the second coming of Leafy is here, with his sarcastic jabs and satirical hate comments that just instigates hate on other creators for being cringe. He's even got the iconic CS Surf gameplay in the background.
Actually, it's Valorant Surf. I beg to disagree, but I do see his point. I don't think I'm as bad as Leafy. I looked at an old Leafy video recently, and he was quite unhinged.
That was an awesome little award speech you gave right there. That was awesome, funny, quirky, and unique. You guys are just the best. That was totally not cringy, made no sense, or made me want to fucking kill myself.
WestJett, if we're being honest, the only reason why you blocked me is because I unfollowed you first.
Nuh-uh, buddy. I'll be seeing you in court.
And the reason why I unfollowed you is because of your tweet here about Kaide, which originally I liked the tweet because it was calling out people for being weird about our condition. I thought maybe you were a stand-up guy, until I realized you just stole this tweet from someone and only use it to virtue signal and farm impressions yourself.
The purpose of the tweet was still good. You can't say it's virtue signaling just because I took somebody else's tweet. Impressions literally do nothing, and it doesn't matter at all in any regard. That's like saying Mr. Beast's a bad guy because he does charity and uploads it to YouTube for self-gain. I'd even argue my larger platform expanded the tweet. I literally took it from a bum. Though, so you also fell off big time. You weren't even invited to Los Angeles. I'm not going to show who this is, but it's a large creator who was at the early access event.
Whoever's saying that is right. I wasn't at the Clove event, but I also happened to be across the country in Boston that whole week for a sponsor activation, so it's kind of hard to be in LA when I already had that planned for months. But hey, no worries, man. If I get invited to the next event, I'll send you a postcard.
Loki, that's awesome. You could send your mail to 308 Negra Arroyo Lane, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87104. Thank you, Ethos. Truth be told, there's absolutely zero reason to watch him. He's nowhere near as good of a Yoru player as Eggster is, and he's nowhere near as funny as Ziptie is. He's the definition of mid.
I honestly think that's fair. Both Ziptie and Eggster are fantastic Yoru creators, and I couldn't do what they do. Eggster is genuinely one of the biggest rank grinders in all of North America, and I definitely don't have the mental fortitude to put up with the current set of ranked like he does. And Ziptie is extremely creative with his Yoru plays, and I can't even imagine the patience it takes to try to get some of those clips.
I might have been a little wrong about Ethos's ego. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought. He's conceding certain points, kind of like laughing at himself while complimenting us and also disagreeing at the same time. And you know, that takes some balls.
Guys, Herp Ethos here.
He could also take a joke. I respect it.
It's been stated in the video that you so conveniently admitted that I actually don't care what people's beliefs are on the subject. Just respect others and move on.
I don't know. I didn't actually omit that. I don't know what you're on about. Here's the clip.
Like, honestly, who cares? Why do you guys care so much?
The tough guy not caring act. Why should you guys care?
I don't even care what your values are, and I don't care if you change them. But to act so grossly, outwardly about it to others just comes off as pathetic. I'm talking more so to the trolls who directly choose to invalidate the people who rally behind Clove's introduction as a way to feel more comfortable with their own identity.
I agree, but for a complete opposite reason. Do I think misgendering a video game character is bad? No, not at all. But am I gonna laugh at your joke if you're constantly calling Clove a she? Ha 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 ha. Like, it's the lowest hanging fruit joke. It's just an overused joke. You know, broken record. What are you gonna do? Call her an attack helicopter next? That said, you could make it funny. You could call Clove Chuck McGill.
Clove may just be a cash grab from Riot to you, but there are others who hold a different meaning to their existence, and I don't think it's fair for anyone to take that away. And before you say, well, you're invalidating our beliefs by forcing us to say the proper pronouns, and I can see why it can come off that way, I'm just asking you to call them Clove. A deafening majority agree that mistakes can happen, and it's unlikely for you to get banned from Valorant or a streamer's chat for making a mistake.
I don't know if you've seen it, but some of these Twitch mods are literally Gestapo, just like banning people on site for any difference of opinion. Like, it's bad. Trust me. Don't play ignorant on this. It does happen.
I can genuinely agree with WestJett on this one. Introducing a non-binary character to this game, at least in the short term, has done more bad than good. It started a war on gender and has brought it into discussion, and whether or not Riot did it as a cash grab is irrelevant now, because Pandora's box is open. So now we have to decide how we deal with it. I want to try and push this in a positive direction where hopefully we finish this argument, people will learn to live with it respectfully. Whether or not you choose to accept it, non-binary violent people have as just as much a right to play this game as anyone else. So maybe in the long term, they will feel more comfortable once this war subsides.
I can wrap my head around what he's saying. I just think that the internet was less toxic when people were more toxic. It's an interesting dichotomy to think about, but I don't know about y'all, but it feels like in the last decade, human beings have been divided into like subgroups, whether that be based off race, religion, I don't know, like your gender. Like, while the idea of safe spaces is a good thing, I personally think they can never be implemented without being sketchy and weird. And in reality, the only thing that really divides us as people is rich and poor.
I can genuinely agree with WestJett on this one. I'm not sure if logic is your strong suit in these videos, but I just said that it wasn't an ideal calm.
You got me. I'm not winning a logic debate against the dude who's literally named Ethos. Like, what the hell? I'm not. Moral nature is literally in this guy's name, like, for crying out loud.
Not that it never happens. If I say peeing in the shower isn't an ideal scenario for me as an adult, doesn't mean I haven't.
But that pretty much sums up my content, like peeing in the shower. If you could put any analogy to summarize my whole YouTube channel existence, that would be it.
If you want to be a true Sigma.
Dude, what are you talking about? Nobody uses the term Sigma seriously other than your fellow org mate. Like,
The thing that WestJett so conveniently omitted was me poking fun at the people trying to push this Sigma alpha male mentality. Alpha, Sigma, whatever the Greek letter followed by male mentality. Alpha or Sigma or whatever the fuck. That's why I even mentioned Andrew Tate.
how does Andrew Tate have anything to do with it?
That's probably why mentioning his name made no sense, because you took out the context.
I didn't take out the context, and I didn't paint you to think that it wasn't cringe to say that. Everybody thinks it's cringe. Fresh and Fit are a bunch of goobers, but my issue is, why did you bring it up in the first place? Your Twitch has completely plateaued. You got STDs.
Okay, so first off to my viewers, he's definitely right in the fact that I've fallen off. Since I've stopped scrimming and playing tournaments every day, I've honestly not been enjoying Valorant, just playing ranked 24/7.
Valorant is in a really bad state. I'll give you that, Ethos. I don't blame you, brother.
That's why I choose to stream with no delay in Immortals 3 now, and just talk to chat because I enjoy talking to you guys way more. And even though my numbers are down, I've been enjoying streaming a lot with the smaller community that I currently have.
I could easily say cope and seed, but streaming with a small community is pretty fun and has its own perks. And I'm not gonna lie, he took it really well. And yeah, respect.
The reason why I think you're the worst YouTuber on Valorant is not because your content is bad or that you're a scummy human being. It's because the content you post generally does nothing but manifest more hate on others. Even if you are being satirical and you're trying to not directly hate on people, you have to understand that your content is like a fire starter. You ignite all these people into hating on other creators. Even if you don't directly tell them to, you give them reasons to.
Now, it would be really stupid to disagree with that. The nature of this content inherently is sort of toxic, and although there are some instances of where negativity isn't spread, like in cases of 100 HP Gaming in the video I made on him, I could obviously justify it to myself by saying I make videos on people that deserve it, and like, you know, I'm only punching up because I'm making videos on people older than me or people that have more subscribers. And as much as you guys agree with me, maybe you dislike somebody I make a video on, if you're going out and like typing on their social medias, you're a bigger fucking loser than them tenfold. I gotta make that abundantly clear. I'm talking about you, Timmy, sitting there in your tidy whities. That's right, I know you. Wake up, none of this is real.
I'm personally pretty comfortable with you coming after me because I never really cared for entertaining drama. And this kind of content stays pretty far outside the scope of my usual work, but you have to understand you have a lot of influence, also a lot of impressionable viewers watching.
I'm gonna be brutally honest. I'm not here to build a community. I'm here to collect a bag. I'm here to major bag alert up and get out of the hood. Please do not get influenced by me. The only genuine advice I'll give you is to like hit the gym and quit vaping. That's all I can do. That said, if you're my viewer and after watching my video you have strong opinions on somebody else, leave a comment within the walls of this channel. You know, leave it here, leave it as is.
If you talk badly on one creator, your minions are just gonna start hounding them, whether you want them to or not. Every creator, me and you included, are doing this because this is our job. We're all trying to survive, especially in this esports winter where numbers as a whole are down, not just for Valorant content. So whether they e-date, thirst trap, or clickbait their college, sorry Will.
Jesus Christ, friendly fire, nobody's safe, not even the org mates.
They're all just doing their best. And I can agree with you. A lot of the content in Valorant is cringe. But there's nothing more cringe than trying to bully others. It's like we're back in high school and you're harassing the quiet kid for being different.
I feel like the quiet kid is a bad example because that's the one kid you actually don't want to harass, ironically.
I'm not trying to talk down to you as if I'm some saint either, because I'm definitely not. I came from COD and Counter-Strike, so I'm not trying to act like a good person, because I honestly understand where a lot of your humor and perspectives come from. I honestly think if neither of us were creators, we could have easily been friends.
My respect for Ethos has grown exponentially for this video. He agreed with certain things, glazed a little here and there, while also conveying his point and disagreeing. That takes a lot of balls. His response was objectively good. While we might disagree on certain things, we can agree to disagree and live in harmony. That said, his response was nowhere near as good as Willius's.
Harvard, Sigma,
Harvard, Sigma, Harvard.
Legendary stuff.
2024, and you have a very large audience. We can't just say the same shit we were saying 10 years ago.
Low-key, the state of YouTube was better 10 years ago, though. It was funnier. Come on.
We're whole ass adults now. It's time we start acting like it. Shitting on others' content when they're just trying to make it themselves is so lame.
As you said earlier, sometimes you gotta pee in the shower, and if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be me. I don't think I'm like Leafy at all. I'm not out there bullying literal children.
I'm back.
I play Pokemon Go.
You don't need it. As I said before, you make good content, you put in good effort, and you're a funny guy. Just because you hit the algorithm talking down about others doesn't mean that's your only option. Enjoy the rest of the clip. I'm just kidding. Thanks for watching.
It happens, boys. I was wrong about Ethos, but I was right about Rob. Terrible Yoru player, sells out for gambling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 17 gambling videos on his channel.
And I urge you to subscribe to WestJett please with notifications on.